Good Friday morning, my friends. I hope you are having a fantastic Friday and that you have some exciting things planned for the week or the weekend. And yes, into next week. Um, Today, I'm going to be looking at next week, which is the 17th to the 23rd, which for me sounds crazy that we are already over halfway through the month. Truly insane in my books. So today I wanted to kind of look at that and also remind people we are halfway through the week or the month. What do you need to do to get what you need done for July? We're already in July. The year is already halfway over, guys. Right? It's funny, as we get older, time seems to slide a lot faster. So it's important that we do set those intentions. Plan it out. What is it that we want to get done? It's important. So for this reading, it was funny. I was like, ooh, which pretty deck do I want? And I kept just hearing, girlfriend, Rider Waite. Now, many people do not like Rider Waite. I'm not sure why my table is so, crystal overboard. Oh well, crystal went overboard. A lot of people really struggle with Rider Waite because it was one of the originals. It was the grandparent of the divinational deck. That was started to be commissioned like 1908, 1909, and then started to be mass produced at the end of 09, the beginning of 1910. So it's something that's very traditionally printed. And if you go back into history on how the printing press was, it didn't look like this. It couldn't get the gradients. It had weird hash marks and stuff. So somebody, and I don't know who, in their brilliance, made the Radiant Rider Waite. I love this deck. It has the original imagery, but they spruced it up a bit. So we're using that. Going old school. Then I've matched it with the Enchanted Map Oracle. Wanted clear understanding on what we can expect for this third week of July. Now, next week, on the 23rd, so Saturday, we have Leo jumping high in the sky, helping us with our very fixed fiery centers. Now, I will have a reading published on Saturday for you guys, so you guys can look at how Leo is going to impact you. Will Leo start to put some intensity into Saturday? Well, we'll see. However, Leo will have his own reading. Like I said, I'm going to be publishing it on the Saturday. It's not going to be a live. It's going to be a pre-recorded one. I was thinking about doing it on the Thursday, but I'm hearing that Saturday's a better call. So that's what's going to happen. It's kind of nice when you get some insight from the ahas from above on your scheduling. All right. So let's look at this week. July 17th through the 23rd. I hope you guys are having a good summer. I know that for me right now, it is incredibly hot. It's funny, either it's way too cold, it's way too wet, or it's way too, we don't get a lot of intermediate, but the heat has started and a lot of us are melting. However, that sun, that growth, this is the time to get out, especially for someone who lives in Canada, where it's going to start to snow soon, and then the physical ability to get out of your door can be a challenge. I said growth, right? This is the Ace of Pentacles. This garden really pops right now because we are looking at the summertime energy. We're looking at that heat, that growth, the ability to get out and enjoy, get some fresh air. This week is going to be a lot of new, very exciting opportunities. The more you stay grounded, you root yourself in where you're at right now, no matter whether you like it or not, the more you're going to see these things start to pop. You're going to see what's working right in front of you. You're going to be able to build off of that. There's stuff in your current life, and yes, it may be hard to find, that is sprouting out and is beautiful. It may be covered in weeds. However, you have that ability to start to clear it out a bit. The Fool, the 0 card in the Major Arcana. That sun, that bright, those beginnings. This week, we are starting to get up and go again. Now, many of us are carrying things like trauma, mental health, so sadness, fears, you name it. Busyness, burdens, expectations, and demands. I get it. It's not always as easy as it's said in the cards. And it's funny because as I say that, I look at how the crystal happened just to fall off the table. Those little pieces, they build up, right? Know that when you take it in stride, just like the Fool, that's when those new exciting things happen. I have more space now. Sure. Reframing it, getting up and embracing the day. Those things are going to make a difference, even if we're feeling overwhelmed and burdened. Because it's not going to be one of those things where it's going to be an easy, ooh, and done. We're going to have challenges. We're going to have stumbles. Know that that's okay because we're not alone. We have the physical support. We also, and this is harder to see, but on his bag, it's an eagle, symbolizing that spiritual. The sun symbolizes that spiritual. It's there. Should we embrace it? So let's look at how this week is going to unfold. What can my friends expect from the beginning of the week? My dog just rolled the crystal away. I don't know if that came up, but I heard him jingle by, and then I saw the crystal roll away. Crystal's on adventure of its own right now. The 3 of Cups. Embracing those physical beings, your support team. Enjoying where you guys are at, enjoying each other's company, building each other up, flourishing and growing. Like I said, we're not doing this journey alone. We were never meant to. Know that you have supports. Reach out to them. They too are busy. They've got lots of expectations, demands. Things are happening for them. Reach out to them. Reach out so that you get the support you need and you can be their support. Because it's going to be a challenge. The 7 of Wands. People are going to try and poke you. Your mental health, yourself is going to start to poke at you, trying to avoid this, these new beginnings, these new experiences, this growth, this shift that you're looking for. Like I said, part of this week is about acknowledging and being okay with where you're at. You may not enjoy it, it may not be where you want to be, but be okay with it so that you can build off of the aspects that are going right? Those little tulips. My flower identification is bad, but the little white flowers. Without being okay with where you're at, you're not going to be able to see what's thriving and what you can really nurture to grow. Different aspects, different parts of your life that you enjoy, that fill you up. That's going to help with that new beginning. It's going to help you go through to that new, following that path to that shift that you're looking for. So, yeah, we may not enjoy every aspect of our life, and that's okay. we can and we do have the power to shift it. It's going to be a challenge. Our ego is going to poke at us. Others are going to poke at us. But this is the 7 of Wands. 7s are a lucky number. With work, we can succeed. We can go forward through that pathway. So the beginning of the week, start to build yourself up. You're going to need that defense. You're going to need that support, that stability that others can provide. Now, whether you meet with them physically, whether you connect with them socially, online, whatever, you just need that connection. Okay. Other aspects that can help with the stability, of course, is being grounded and stable. So things like meditation, things like crystals, whatever tool that you use to stay stable and grounded will help you with overcoming some of the challenge, the conflict. Next week is going to bring in some conflict, especially at the beginning of the week. So be mindful of that. Now, I do have a number of meditations on my channel that are free that deal with grounding. Actually, all my even if they don't have grounding in the title, I do a little bit of a grounding visualization at the end. So you have that element of grounding anyway. So you can start to look through and get that support. I've got 3 meditative playlists. Three meditation playlists. I've got a mindfulness playlist and 3 healing playlists. There's lots of support there. The healing, I don't get into grounding, but the meditations all have that grounding element. Tools, right? The Fool, in his very handsome man bag here, he has all the tools he will ever need on his journey forward, no matter how perilous it gets. So no, there are lots of tools available to you. You just need to pull them out of the bag. All right. The middle of the week. What can my friends expect from the middle of the week? The King of Swords. The King of Vulcans himself. Now, kings, they're the most well-defined personality. They have the most power, the most control in their suit. The suit of swords, that's air, it's knowledge. He uses his head, reminding us that this energy, it's going to keep going. We need to use our head. We don't want to get caught up in the rudimentary back part of our brain where it's that flight or fright. We need to have that thought process. We need to be able to create solutions, to embrace new ideas, to think things through in a positive way. And the King of Swords is going to help us. So we need to stay very Vulcan. That emotion, it's going to very much be a stumbling block for you. Take that time. Again, that grounding, that stability, that backbone is going to help. And again, actually thinking about that, they just warned me, when people are giving you advice, think it through. That's their advice from their perspective. You may need a couple different people's advice and creating a solution that is going to be beneficial for you. Don't take people's word just on, well, my mom told me so, or my cousin told me so, or my best friend told me I had to do this. Think it through. You're your own person. Does it make sense to you? Does it resonate with you? Do aspects resonate? Well, like I said, you may have to create that solution that is going to be for your greater good, where you're going to be able to see that prosperity, see that growth, that movement forward. The Two of Cups. And sorry, guys, I am not getting a romantic vibe from this. Will a partner or a potential partner be part of this community? Possibly, yes. What's really catching my attention is this Caduceus, I think it's called. But what I'm seeing is this, the double strand, and I'm getting that DNA fix. We need that stability within ourselves, that duality. Part of our kind of spiritual DNA, if you will, is the masculine and the feminine. So it doesn't matter what gender you identify with, you're going to have both energies within you. The middle of the week, please make sure that you have that balanced energy within you. I have an easy meditation in my Just You and Me playlist where I do balance the masculine and the feminine. It's going to help. I also have, I think it's one of my first meditations where it's a protection meditation, which can help with some of that external energy and external push, if you will, where I use the protection of the feminine, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and Archangel Michael all in one little go. Again, helping with that stability, helping you be able to be stronger, be balanced, and grounded. Or when we do have that balance within ourselves, we're opening ourselves up to that intuitional energy, to that guidance, to that kind of push, using our head, using that intuition that we all have. We can create solutions that are going to help us go forward, help us through that beautiful little gateway. All right, let's push on to the end of the week. What can whoa, there. I caught it. My friends expect from the end of the week. I love jumpers. They're fun. The end of the week is bringing you guys a lot. And I was wondering because at the end of the week, the Saturday, we have Leo coming in. I was wondering if he was going to pounce. Seems like he is. The Six of Pentacles. That balance is going to be imperative. We need to be very mindful of where our energy and our resources are going. That balanced energy that we're starting to create, it needs to be really brought into the end of the week. That said, throughout your entire week, the more balanced you are, the more in control of you are, and the less this conflict, this challenge, these stumbles are going to impact you. So be mindful of that and use your head. That frivolousness, the just throwing your energy, throwing your time away, it will catch up with you, and it can bring in the tower because we're not being intentional of our journey. That growth, it continues to get muddy, and the weeds and the thorns start to come up, and it's not going to be helpful. Yes, please. Strength. The 8th card in the Major Arcana. She is using her own abilities, her own skills, her own self, combining it with that intuitional, that guidance, that support from the above. High vibrational beings, the universe, the God, Goddess, whomever it is that's important to you, connecting in with them. And additionally, you see this fun little wreath? It does go around the lion's mane. You can't really see it. It talks about those hidden aspects. The more we utilize our own true self, our own abilities, our own skills, those tools, those hidden aspects become more available. We become more reliant on them. And sometimes we struggle to find that kind of stuff. Easy ways to find those hidden talents are the things that make sense. You're continually being kind of nudged. You're like, ooh, if I had time, I would. That's the kind of thing. If you had the time and the energy, that balance, what would you do with it? How would you fill and fuel you? So at the end of the week, we're going to need to look at that. Give yourself that time. Give yourself that permission to play and enjoy. Because the Fool, he got no worries. Do we have worries? Absolutely. Should we ignore them? No. Look at those worries for what they are. And if it's something that your ego is just pulling up on you, acknowledge it and say, okay, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Those would-haves, those could-haves, those what-ifs, they're slowing me down. Let's take it one step at a time, slow baby steps, and we're going to be able to persevere. So this is the Four of Cups. This talks about the struggles, the blahness that we're feeling. Talks about how that intuitional energy that I was talking about, it's pushing you towards something. The end of the week, like I said, we need to start to give ourselves permission, time, and energy. That's why that balance is going to be so important. Leo, sorry, Leo, he's the lion, is going to nudge you in the right direction. It's up to you to pounce and give yourself that balance. Justice. We have the 11th card in the Major Arcana, and we're looking at that balance, cutting through the crap with the sword of truth and knowledge. Like I said, those worries, those what-ifs, those could-haves, those what-ifs, they slow you down. It's going to be important that you take control of you in your situation through checking in with what it is you're feeling, using the scale, balancing it out, and cutting through the crap. The what if, that's always going to be, well, it's going to be an Achilles heel for humanity. So cutting through it a bit, calling it as the Chicken Little that it is. I encourage my kids to never start a sentence of what if. Because I always end up with, what if Godzilla walked down the street? We can't live off of what if. If we have the foundation and the determination, we can start to build those bridges. We may not see them well, but we can start to build them, and we can start to go forward. Like I said, we may not like where we're at, but giving ourselves that time, permission, and energy to start to build that bridge out of where we're at, using what is going well, will support you in getting out of what's happening. Balance, balance, and more balance. The High Priestess, the second card in the Major Arcana. She is the most intuitive card in the deck. She is also very, very balanced. She's got the dark, the light, the pillars. You have 2 gateway cards. It is up to you to make that move, to go through to that rite of passage. No one else can do it for you. You have to do it. Again, and this kind of reminds me of the Two of Cups. That duality. They came out in that pack of 4. So these were the 2 cards that were right beside each other, then these 2 cards. Okay. Now this is an androgynous figure that it's not supposed to, it's both masculine and feminine, so that balance, right? Although a lot of times this is the symbol that the legal system has taken on, that feminine. It's not supposed to be. And of course, we have that feminine. We're talking about that balance. Using our head and using our intuition to push us forward. She's going to give you the knowledge of the universe, whereas they are going to give you the strength to move forward. That stepping into the light energy. It's up to you to use your abilities to start to cut through the crap, taking that deep breath and connect into that intuition. How do you do that? Well, the best way to do that is through creativity, which usually is the backbone of what's going right, because we're able to express ourselves. We're able to enjoy what we're doing. We thrive. We're creative beings. And no, guys, I don't mean arts and crafts. It can be if that's meaningful for you. Creativity is how you express you in a meaningful way. That's it. And that's going to be an important key as we try to embrace the high priestess and justice, and actually even strength. Those are three major arcanas which give us the keys to going forward in a bigger perspective. So this is a fantastic week to shift out of what you don't want into something that you do. Leo is going to help us as we get into the end of the week. It's going to help it make that count. What further support can we give my friends so that they can embrace the energies and the directions of this week? So know, guys, that anytime I do a forecast, any tarot reading, any reading that you get from somebody, that's it's not written in stone. We have the right of free will. We can change what we don't want and embrace and really amplify what we do. This just gives you a forecast of what you can expect, because the possibilities are wide open. You are directing this. You may not understand or see what's happening forward. However, trusting in you, trusting in the universe, and taking those small steps, not leaps of faith, small baby steps will help with that stability. It will help you get slowly. And yeah, it's not going to be an instant go. It's going to be a slow progression into something more meaningful. This week gives you that kind of gateway. It starts that bridge, if you will. Oh, very much so. So this is Bone Collector. Now, it seems creepy, but it talks about the foundation that we need to move forward. And this week very much gives us that stability, that foundation that we want, that we need. Now, speaking of foundation, I should say we have multiple twos. In angel messages, when you have that multiple two, the angels are telling you that you need to take that deep breath, balance stuff out, and keep going. We also have double ones. In angel messages, that multiple one encourages you to use your abilities. They are going to support you. They're going to help you thrive. Oh, absolutely. Follow the leader. Now, I said this earlier. There's going to be people that you need to connect in with. There's going to be people that you don't need to connect in with. It's going to be an important choice for you. Connect in with those positive people, because following the leader, it should be positive leaders or people who are going to encourage you forward, not ones that are going to encourage you into burrowing yourself into a hole or talking you down and making you feel bad. Not everyone in our life is here for our greater good. They may be here to teach us something. So be mindful of that. Again, you want to use your critical thinking, not being critical or overly critical. When I say critical thinking, I mean checking into it. What is that person saying? Does it resonate with me? How does it resonate with me? What would it bring me? We want to follow the appropriate people. We want to, of course, move down and see that growth, and we want to see that shift. However, making a choice and following somebody could lead us down the wrong rabbit hole. And when we do that, of course, it's a learning experience, but is it an experience that you want? So, again, keeping that Vulcan mind as you go throughout this week. There's a lot of opportunity for growth this week. It's up to you to take those steps forward. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I hope that this helped give you a good understanding of what the next week, so the week of July 17th to the 23rd, is going to bring you. If you did like this weekly reading, can you please remember to give it a thumbs up? And of course, and more importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit that red bell. There is so much more meditation, healings, guidance, teachings coming forward. You don't want to miss any of it. And the best way to do that is to stay subscribed and hitting that little red bell so you know when I've posted or when I'm live. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Until tomorrow, my friends.